Hello, traders. This is my recap of our MIT and AT webinar for the week of July 29th to August 2nd. So we started out the week just a little bit north of $107,000. And throughout that week, we had some great trades, but we also had really just one loss that kind of ended up tipping the whole entire week. We got pretty close to almost back to break even. We're down just a little bit, $150. So, 0.1% of a drop, which really isn't much, but we had the chance that we could have ended the week positive about 1.25%. If it wasn't for just one of our trades, which I'll show you. So overall for the week, 62.5%. We can see a little bit better than a 2-to-1 ratio with our average win at 374 and average loss at 670. We were positive overall, 70.1% is just the money management, but it's really just the one loss that really kind of cost us here. So when we look at it, the one loss that we had that really tipped the scales was this Aussie US. Overall, it was a great trade. We pinpointed kind of some levels that could have an effect, and they had a little bit stronger of an effect than we were anticipating. But still had the potential to close it out as a positive 3-to-1, which I know a number of our students did. But we held on for the 2-to-1 because that's the way that we had originally set it up, and it did ultimately come down and lose. So had the chance of a win, but because of this, if we would have flipped it to a win, we would have absolutely ended the week with a positive 1.25% growth. Whereas because of the loss, we end up down 0.1%. So not terrible, but definitely not the result that we were looking for. But one of the trades I want to pinpoint one of the trades, or at least highlight it, and that's actually this pound US trade down here, the last trade we had for the week, which was our afternoon trade on Thursday night. So this trade, kind of a different circumstance that we had to work with looking for a way into this trade, because first Friday of every month, which was August 2nd, first Friday of every month has our unemployment rate, non-farm payrolls, stuff like that, and those announcements are generally extremely large. And with this afternoon trade being the night before, I wanted to make sure that we found a trade that would get us as close to profit, or hopefully hit our take profit before the news announcements came out. And so with that being our focus, we had to look through all 8 of the currency pairs that I look through for that afternoon trade. And this pound US was by far the strongest one, showing that we should have a high probability to be able to win within about 1 to 6 hours. So the thing that we saw here that really showed us that is that we have been in a downward channel for a period of time. We're still working in that downward channel. We've been moving really well with it, establishing some really clear highs to this channel. And so we're just going in that direction. Indicators wise, what kind of showed me that we were still going to be pushing in the near future in that direction was the look here at our pressure indicator here on our 4-hour and our 8-hour. Our 8-hour is just absolutely perfect with that red on top, great angle down, slightly splitting apart, which is going to keep red on top for a longer period of time. And if you look, it should stay that way for the next 6 hours or 6.5 hours until that 8-hour time frame comes to a close, and it should even extend a little bit beyond that, really. So with that in mind, and looking at the direction of the pressure on the rest of them, 4-hour still looks good with the red pressure on top. Our majors are all mostly down. Our thin oranges are mostly down. So this told me that we had a really good shot to be able to hit that 2-to-1 profit, which was down here at 50%, and before even the low of our channel. Okay. And then our stop loss, we were able to recognize that we needed to go higher than the cross and put it outside of this resistance level that we found by looking in the past. It's a very strong position, very well protected stop loss. And it didn't stretch our take profit too much to make it harder to win. And so we were able to get in, and we were able to just immediately move down to our profit I was hoping within 1 to 6 hours, and it did it within four. And so, really solid win that I think ultimately does turn almost right from our profit and then comes back and even pushes even further past our profit later into the next morning at 2 a.m. Mountain Time. So if we wouldn't have won there, we would have, or if we wouldn't have won in our within those first 4 hours, we would have won later. So, but overall, really good direction, great trade that ended up pushing to the win. It really helped make the week, or at least get the week as close back to break even as possible. But like I said, that Aussie trade is what really tipped it this week, when it could have been a 3-1 win and instead ended up a full loss.